Hello and welcome to 2 Minutes Global Market Pulse, your fast track to what is moving the world economy today. Let us jump right in. The annual inflation rate in the United States accelerated for the second consecutive month to 2.7% in June 2025, the highest level since February, up from 2.4% in May, and in line with expectations. The Consumer Price Index in the United States increased 0.3% month-over-month in June 2025, the biggest gain in 5 months compared to 0.1% in May, and in line with market expectations. The index for shelter rose 0.2% and was the primary factor in the all-items monthly increase. United States stocks traded mostly lower on Tuesday as markets continued to assess the magnitude of tariffs that may be passed by the United States and the outlook of policy by the Federal Reserve. The S&P 500 was flat after rising to a fresh record earlier in the session, while the Dow fell 200 points. Headline inflation rose as expected in June, although the core rate was marginally below expectations. Still, markets were set on a rate hold by the Fed this month as the FOMC is still likely to see upside inflation risks from tariffs. The Japanese yen touched 148.03 against the United States dollar, the lowest since May 2025. Over the past 4 weeks, United States dollar-Japanese yen gained 2.24%, and in the last 12 months it decreased 6.54%. The annual inflation rate in Canada rose to 1.9% in June of 2025 from 1.7% in the previous month, aligned with market expectations. WTI crude oil futures were below $67 per barrel on Tuesday, following a 2.2% loss in the previous session, as traders grew skeptical that President Trump's new pressure campaign on Russia would significantly disrupt its oil exports. President Trump boosted military aid to Ukraine and warned of 100% tariffs if no peace deal is reached in 50 days, a move seen as a threat of secondary sanctions on major Russian oil buyers like India and China. However, markets viewed the 50-day delay as reducing the risk of immediate supply disruption. Still, some support came from China, where refinery activity hit 15.2 million barrels per day in June, the highest since September 2023, and a key demand gauge improved. Nvidia shares jumped almost 5% after the company announced plans to resume sales of its top-selling H20 AI chip to China. India recorded a trade deficit of $18.8 billion in June of 2025, narrowing from the $21 billion gap from the corresponding period of the previous year to halt the streak of 3 consecutive trade deficit widening months. Total passenger vehicle sales in India dropped by 6.3% year-on-year to a 6-month low